How about if somebody comes up and he's a national, he's not an American. He is a foreign national, and maybe he has a green card or he doesn't have a green card. He's just here visiting. Can he get a life insurance?
Good question. Do you want to ask that?
Sure. There are, I think that gets into somewhat company strengths and maybe something that's not their strengths. Different companies will treat that differently. It depends on the circumstances, and certain companies will shine in that arena. It depends on many times if they have a business here, or if they have, there are different reasons they've got assets in the United States, or whatever it may be. It depends on the reason for the insurance, but there are carriers that will cover that, and it depends on where the areas are. Certainly, the insurance company will take a look at that. There are some areas where maybe they would consider more than others.
More than, okay.
Right.
And
it's all risk-based.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Insurance company, it's actuarially priced and it's risk-based.
Yes, risk-based. Okay. Well, when we're talking about risk, how about are you ever too young or too old, or are you too old, let's say, to take a life insurance?
Well, you're certainly never too young to get life insurance.
That's me. I'm sorry, that's Kevin.
So, many times, and Kevin touched on it earlier, to preserve your insurability, parents or grandparents will get life insurance policies on a newborn. But in terms of being too old, there are guidelines to that. Most carriers will issue a life insurance policy up to age 85 is a typical age. In a survivorship policy, it can go as high as age 90. And so, but again, we mentioned it is risk-based. It does have something to do with your health, and so getting it earlier is typically better than getting it later.
In terms of the buying it when you're young, it's a great opportunity for grandparents. Not just parents, but it's a possibility of using a cash value-oriented type contract to provide for that college funding. So it's an opportunity potentially to not only preserve their insurability by buying them a policy, but using it as a funding vehicle on with a very financially sound institution on a guaranteed basis that pot of money will be waiting there when they need it for college, for the college education.
Okay, so different purposes.
So different purposes, and it's a great thing for a grandparent to pay for.
I wanted to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, we're back again, and we were talking about the risks, right? We talked about the foreign national, and we talked about being in the military, and we talked about being old or young. And I have one more question about that. How about smoking? Smoking a cigarette, smoking any kind of tobacco, chewing tobacco, or cigar. What happens then?